Welcome to Modern
Modern romance. Let's talk about love.
Love. You know who I'm main character Syndrome Zubair. We got the cum dumpster, big boy
The
Clayton.
cum dumpster.
Yes.
I'm Kim Jong Un tonight.
Oh shit! What's your favorite Kim Jong Un moment?
Killing his uncle was pretty cool. Killing his brother was even cooler. I'll tell you
Using
that much. He fed his pregnant wife to the dogs. Apparently, I don't know how true that is, but
I
apparently,
don't think I don't
pregnant
think that
wife.
happened. I think it was the uncle that he
It
fed.
could, he shot his uncle out of the sky. He was in an airplane and he shot a rocket at his plane and fucking killed him.
What a sick bastard.
I know. Not a very good guy, but what can you do? It's North Korea.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you guys for joining us for episode 9. Um, so today we're gonna talk about, basically this is gonna be a little bit of my thoughts of the last episode. Which, by the way, thanks to everybody who joined and watched that episode. Very big success, and obviously a big thank you to our buddy, the Right Smart Buster. Um, I do actually before we start, we should definitely talk about the super chat we got.
I don't even remember what the person said.
Well, I have it right here in documentation. By the way, Emery, why you're like didn't want that to happen? That means like it's us to get that little donation, bro.
I'm not against getting money. I just feel bad for the people because they
Hello.
like Righty and they want him to respond, and they weren't able to get that because it was pre-recorded.
True, true, but me and Dave Righty will see it. Don't worry. Okay. And yeah, fuck you, Julie, by the way, for not wanting that to happen. Thinking that was stupid. But regardless, okay. So consulting the chat, we got a $5 super chat by the Freaky Grunge. Which shout out to him, thank or her. Thank you for so much for leaving a super chat. You will always, if you leave a super chat, you'll get shout outs, and we will devote our attention to you, talking about any topic you ever want to talk about. But in this case, there was no topic. But here's what his message was. Great to see Righty. The world has gone to shit. Captain America is black now. Kamala is probably going to run again. Thoughts on that, Emery? And I know you're a fan of Captain America. Any response to that?
I love Captain America. I liked the new movie. I think that people that didn't like the new movie kind of had a fucking skewed view of what the movie was going to be. Um, I don't really know what they expected. It was Captain America 4 with the new Captain America, and it wasn't perfect. I don't even think it was as good as any of the other Captain Americas so far, but it was still a fun movie. I like The Incredible Hulk. That was a good movie, and the new Captain America is essentially just a sequel to that movie. I mean, it kind of is just Captain America's in it, and then there's a bunch of Hulk characters around him without the Hulk in it. So it's kind of weird, but it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I think that people talking about how Captain America is black now is overblown. I think that Anthony Mackie is a fine actor. I think the shit he said about how Captain America doesn't represent America was kind of brain dead retarded because the fucking character's called Captain America, so obviously it represents America. But other than that, it was pretty good. And I know a lot of people complained about the Captain America movies, like, oh, it's just pro-U.S. propaganda. But the whole movie was about how the U.S. government was doing fucked up experiments on people. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was too much of a fucking pro-America propaganda movie. It was kind of a spy movie. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Again, it wasn't perfect, but like it wasn't the worst Marvel movie I've ever seen. I've seen some Marvel movies that made me want to rip my dick off, and fucking Captain America 4 is nowhere near as bad as those fucking movies. There's some weirdo stuff, and you see a really funny scene where Tim Blake Nelson, he has his hands like this and he goes, ah, and it's like nobody would ever do that, so it's kind of retarded looking, and it was really funny. But other than that, it was pretty good. I mean, Harrison Ford's cool. I like him. I like seeing the Red Hulk. I like seeing Hulk as a different color. I mean, who doesn't love a different colored Hulk? It was pretty fun time. As far as Kamala Harris running again goes, I mean, she's allowed to do what she wants. That would be a bad move for the Democratic Party if they were to run her as a candidate again. So if they want to lose again, they can feel every fucking right to fucking just throw Kamala Harris in front of people. I mean, do whatever you want. But like, I think that if they wanted a winning strategy, they would go with a stronger candidate than Kamala Harris. Again, not because she's a woman, not because she's Indian, and not because she's black, but because she stinks. She's a horrible fucking candidate. Like, maybe one of the worst fucking candidates the Democrats have ever run. She fucking stinks, and they need to just find somebody else who's more likable, more relatable, and just I don't know, an all around better person to listen to talk. I don't know. It was like with Donald Trump, he has such a cult of personality around him. He has so many people that love him and hang on to his every word, and they're big like Trump people. The Democrats have got to find their guy that's like that, and it's not going to be Kamala Harris, and it's not going to be Hillary Clinton. It's not going to be any of these fucking people. I mean, Joe Biden was a good option because he was Obama's VP, and people remembered Obama. You know, people loved Obama. They need to find another Obama that people can love, and that's just not going to be Kamala. So that's my opinion on that. If she runs again, my guess is it'll be like when she ran in 2016 and fucking she just got out of the race immediately. You know, it'll just be another case of that.
The cult of personality.
That's a fun song. I went to karaoke at a bar with our friend Lex, and there was a middle-aged woman that sang that song. She was very into it. She was like jumping up and down and like grabbing onto people who were sitting there and like trying to get them to sing along. It was fucking wild.
Did she had a CM Punk shirt on?
No, she had a beanie on. I think that song was popular outside of CM Punk.
No, yeah, I know that. Yeah, but wait, was she hot?
No, she was an old woman.
Oh, okay. It just gotta be that little nice question because that's the important question to ask. Anyways, um, in regards to the super chat, I don't really think that there's nothing much to really even say. You knocked it out of the park, really, Emery. Captain America being black, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's bound to happen. Do I think it's probably just forcing, like a person to be a different color character? I mean, listen, they forced the Hulk, was it Captain Marvel to be a woman? It was bound to happen, right? Like they'll
I
force
don't know.
certain
At
things to
least with
happen.
Captain America, we already had the Captain America before, and then this time, and like it happened where like Captain America was old and had to give up, and so he like passed the torch on to his friend. They had like all this set up throughout the movies where him and Falcon were like BFFs, and then like he had to give him his shield and everything. And then there was a whole TV series about him becoming Captain America and everything and like trying to live up to Steve Rogers. So it wasn't like some kind of thing that they just threw it on people. It was something they had been setting up for a long time.
Okay, so that's cool. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I know anything about Captain America, so I have no opinion to it because I did not really care for the movies. In my honest opinion, I did not. I was never really a big Captain America guy. I think the only thing I really cared about Captain American wise was when they had the character was involved in the 1994 Spider-Man cartoons. So
Well, there's the first issue of Captain America is pretty cool. It's got him on the cover punching Hitler in the face. It's really badass.
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure Reddy again, Mr. Freaky Grunge. Reddy will appreciate you mentioning what he did because he was again a part of the show. And as for Kamala running again, like, I mean, yeah, I think Emery really said what needed to be said. It'd probably be a disaster. Was she? I don't know. I honestly think with the world nowadays, you never know. Maybe this is gonna be some revenge bullshit where maybe she might have a chance if they run, unless she's running against a. Let's just say this: when because Trump's only gonna have one more term, right? This is it, right? He's gonna be told 2 terms. If let's say the next candidate is not a well-known conservative Republican, people know Kamala, right? It just by the name itself is going to help Kamala win, I guess. But like that's why it's very important to have a very well spoken, very intelligent, a big name. You got to really like the Republican Conservative Party really got to dig deep into that person who they're going to have as the next president of the United States, who's going to take over after Trump. That's going to be somebody who's going to help this country, like after Trump, and also just going to make sure to keep on not like the same policy, not exactly the same policy, but just if anything, just obviously advancing for the greater good of people.
I get what
Like,
you're saying. You want somebody to do positive things and not do negative things, and I think that's
not
how everybody
it's
feels.
not just that. It's just also we need somebody who's gonna be obviously. I would say we need a new generation. We actually need a young guy. I really do think so. That's why maybe JD Vance could be that guy.
Perhaps there's a whole bunch of people it could be, man. I mean, Trump's got a bunch of people working for him, and I think that one of them will probably end up being the next Republican candidate. I don't know who it'll be, but it'll probably be somebody who works for Trump. And there's a whole lot of people that work for him that want a nomination, and I think he's gonna wait until his term's almost over
And
to
he'll
uh
do some.
to give one.
He'll
Yeah.
do some, yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. But I do think by the name value, unfortunately, a lot of people could want to vote for Kamala.
I mean,
Especially
maybe,
the Democrats.
perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really just, it is again it is kind of like a celebrity thing where like the more known person is gonna people are gonna want to vote for or whatever. It just obviously like, come on, Kamala is not somebody we should want as president of the United States. It just it's just great to how we can it's been great unburdening of what has been with her as vice president. Well, let's be honest, she was
Uh,
technically the president.
yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. So you have a few topics here to discuss, and you said the first thing you want to do is respond to the list from last time.
Yeah, just things I wish I mentioned at the time. I just want Righty to like go through the list, and again, it was technically, it was technically, going about it on Zoom, shitting on Zubair type of thing, even though he was trying not to. But I do want to mention certain things that I didn't get to mention. Okay, so obviously, I will say like thinking about it, like looking back at the list, he had some good points. Maybe sure I wished I mentioned them, but and start why maybe I struggled in dating. I mean, I think I mentioned it where like I will admit where I am at fault in terms of being too eager. I will admit to that. But I'm gonna mention things that I mentioned to you and mentioned to myself. So yeah, like right response. Um, so well, this is something I sent to you really. Like I sent this to you like what I wish I mentioned. Like I wish I mentioned this sooner. But another reason why my intentions were clear to women was because not just to waste time, but it was also because be truthful to my intentions. I didn't want to like just hide the whole facade of a friendship. Wanted to be a true friendship, if anything, or just avoid being the friend zone. I think one a bunch of reasons why I probably didn't get with certain girls that I liked was because of being like the gay best friend type, and also being like friend zone a bunch of times, like putting myself in the friend zone. Even that's
Mm-hmm.
what leads to that the whole issue where I could didn't get with certain girls again, like just in general, like not making my intentions well known, which kind of hurt it. So that's why in itself that I want to avoid that. And plus, it's a headache. I don't know if you have been friends. I'm sure you've been friend zoned, Emery, right? You've been friend zoned. You had a lot of issues when you were a friend with a girl. You were interested in her too. At the same time, you feelings for her.
Well, I'll be honest. No, I haven't because I avoid that. It's very easy to avoid that. When a woman says, I just see you as a friend, you stop talking to them. That's not the hardest thing in the world to do. I went on a date with a girl a couple of months ago. I thought it went really well, and we were going to hang out again. And then she said, I'd like to hang out again, but I just want to be your friend. I haven't seen her since. I haven't gone out to see her. I haven't done any of that because I know what I want to do. I'm not looking for a BFF. I have enough friends. I have people in my life that I talk to and have as my buddies, and that's all I need. I'm looking for companionship. I'm looking for a partner. And if you don't want to do that, see ya. Sorry. Like, that's just how it fucking is. But fucking, I don't know. I think the idea of being friend zoned is kind of goofy because here's my thing. When someone says try to make a friend first, they're not saying put yourself in the friend zone. They're saying just try to talk to somebody and try to get something set up. Like, um, here's my rule. I call it the 3-day rule. Okay? You have a 3-day period to get to know somebody before you call them and get them to go on a date with you. And if by the third day they're still saying, I don't know, they're an indecisive retard and you need to move on anyway. And that's all my advice. Fucking I've talked to plenty of girls that will fucking spend a week talking to you on a dating app and never give you their phone number, and those girls are gonna die alone. You need to fucking find somebody that can fucking go on a date with you after fucking 3 days of getting to know each other. The 3 day rule. And if after 3 days they're just like, I want to be your BFF, see ya. Again, I think that's the perfect rule to go by. I think that 3 days gives you enough time to work up a friendship into something to where you're like, okay, let's get dinner, let's get coffee, let's do whatever. I really do. That's my genuine advice for you. And I don't know if there's a whole lot of fucking I don't know if there's a whole lot of men that go by that rule or who would do that or who would even think that's a good idea. But just personally for me, I just honestly just being 100% with you, some girls might take more time than that, but any girl that takes longer than 3 days to give me her phone number is not worth the headache to me. Like it just is what it is.
So there was like no like issues of a friendship in the past where like you liked the girl or like um
When I was
just
in
be
high school, maybe I had some
yeah, that's what I'm
girls that I
asking.
wanted to like get with that, you know, I'm forced to be around them anyways. So it's not like we can't be friends, like we have to like get along. But
Mhm.
like, we never were like, you know, let's go hang out or let's go fucking do this thing. And I'm not saying to cut people off, but like, you know, you don't have to keep talking. Like, again, after 3 days, like, and you got them on Snapchat or whatever, just don't talk to them anymore. Like, you can just say no. Like, I'm done talking to you because, like, again, it's not worth a headache and it's not worth fucking feeling like shit about it. You just move on.
Okay, this give a good idea to already make this topic of the video. Let's talk about friend zones. You know, I guess we're already kind of talking about it. Let's make that specifically one of the topics already. What's your thoughts on the idea of friend zoning
I think that
or
it's
friend zone?
real. I think people definitely do that to each other. I just see you as a friend and all that stuff. But again, like I was saying, I think it's easily avoidable. I think that any man who finds himself in the friend zone 99.9% of the time put himself there and is wasting his time if he continues to stay there. Just move on, bro. Just fucking go somewhere else because I don't know.
I agree. So that's why I've been avoiding now, right? That's also kind of reason why I've been making my intentions known to a girl rather than like, and of course, maybe it's better
See,
to
but
like build a
the thing is,
connection.
it's not about like not being honest. It's just about like it's like immediate. Like girls know immediately what you're into. You know what I mean? You're not going in and like saying, "Hey, how are you? What's going on? What kind of films do you like? What do you think about life? What do you think about these things?" It's
Mhm.
just immediately like, "I don't know you, but I'd like to." And then it's like, "Oh man." It's like
Mhm.
you ever see a movie with a really good twist ending?
Yeah.
Like have you seen like The Sixth Sense?
I know that's probably like the only M. Night Shyamalan film that people tend to like.
That's fair. Okay, but what's a movie with a really good twist that you like?
Mm, I mean, that's the thing. That's something I really gotta get to. What is it that you think? Like if
Okay,
you remember,
it's just a metaphor. So in the movie Saw, that
yeah.
you find out. Okay, so the movie's about these two guys are
Oh,
chained up.
Halloween 4. Halloween
Oh,
4.
fuck that! I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
But in
shit.
Saw, fucking these two guys are in a bathroom. They're chained up, and there's a dead guy laying in the middle of the floor. And they're like, "Fuck! Like, there's a dead guy here. Who could have chained us up in here?" But at the end of the movie, you find out the person who did it was the dead guy the whole time. He stands up and he says, "Game over," and he fucking locks him in the room, and like that's the whole thing.
Mm,
It's like, whoa! And there was a whole bunch of little clues that were like
yeah,
hinting at it, but you never really know what the twist is until it punches you in the gut. And
yeah,
that's kind of what I think that your issue is with your approach, right? It needs build up. You need build up because if you go into watching Saw for the first time and you already know that that dead guy is going to get up off the floor, there's no surprise when it happens. And the twist is just kind of like, eh. But if there was a genuine amount of like build up and suspense and surprise, the twist has a payoff. And the payoff is the feeling that you get when you're watching it and you're like, whoa, oh my God, my mind is blown. I think you need to do that with women. That's your thing. And again, longer than 3 days, like I said with my rule, cut them off. But you need to not immediately just be so forward. You need to like start to get to know somebody, and then again, once you hit day 3, you hit them with the twist ending of, "Hey, I think you're really cute. Would you like to go out and get some dinner with me?" You know, because it just you need to have any great thing, any great payoff needs a good build up.
Hmm. I have done that in college when I met a girl, but um, I'll be honest with you, it leads to them blocking me.
Well, you live and learn. And I know what you're saying. It
Mhm.
happens. I've had women block me too because I said something retarded, but
Mhm.
you know, you move on to the next one, and it is what it is.
Yeah,
With the but yeah, but genuinely take that to heart, because it's just like, you know, with the whole coming on too strong. That's one of your biggest ones right there. I mean,
yeah. So I will say also about friend zoning. I would say I'm a type of guy who I don't mind being friends with people who I'm interested in. Not just like because I'm hoping one day to be with them or whatever. It's just because I think like I'd rather be in good terms with somebody rather than bad and it be being awkward.
oh yeah, you shouldn't go out of your way to make like when I say cut somebody off after 3 days, I'm not saying like completely shun them and treat them like shit, or even any, like, you shouldn't do that. Like,
Yeah,
it's not the other person's fault that they're not attracted to you, but
yeah,
you can't just stick around waiting forever either. So, you know, if they want to get a hold of you and they want to contact you, they will. Otherwise, fuck it.
yeah. It just I will tell you this from my experience with the whole like friend zoning, whatever. And you know this based on my crushes. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like every girl I was interested in, when they ever find out that I like them, they were like either repulsed by it, right?
Uh-huh.
So like that one made me scared a bunch of times, except recently now that I'm out of college, where like I wouldn't really tell a girl I like them off the bat. You know what I mean? Which is what kind of like that thing where like, hey, how about we go to like after like the 3 day rule? Essentially, I did that, except it maybe like waited a few extra days or something. I don't know. And it's like, yeah, yo, how about we go out to get some coffee or whatever? You know, stuff like that. Um, but obviously, if they get the idea or it doesn't end pretty. But unfortunately, that's where I've been scared when I was younger. Now I don't anymore because again, I'm out of college and I'm like again, I have no time to waste. I'm getting older. We're getting older, Emery. Me and you are getting fucking older. We're tired of fucking playing these games, which is something I
I'm
wanted to.
25. Kim Jong Un became supreme leader of North Korea at 27. It is what it is. I'm good.
But again, time is still precious, right, brother? I don't want to waste my time. I want to be a nice gal, but it just seems like every time I met a nice gal, even if they were very nice, they just And I understand. I'm again, we're not owed anything, right? We're not owed a girl. Like life doesn't like. What I'm trying. What's the freaking term? Like obviously, like we're not owed anything. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we do what we can. It doesn't mean it's not fair, right? I'm sure it's not fair where like sure there's certain guys that have a more advantage, and yes, maybe because they are more the conventionally attractive looking guys that the girls would want. It's not fair. But it's life. What can we do? But that's something that I dealt with where like it sucked that that's the types of girls I'm
Well,
interested
that's
in.
also that's
You
kind
were
of my
nice
thing
girl.
as well. Like, you were always going. I'm gonna be fucking completely honest with you. The girls that you were going after at that period in your life, of these girls who were treating you like shit and friend zoning you, were cunts. The women that you were going after were shitty. Like, every single time that you told us a story about these girls, they were saying or doing something mean or retarded around you, and it wasn't cool. So, like, again, you were just going for the wrong women, no 3 day rule, no nothing is gonna fucking solve that with those fucking chicks. And fucking again, like I've been saying forever, you just got to go to more social functions and less areas like that, because fucking those chicks, man, especially fucking, I don't even remember the girl's name, but the chick that you would meet at Starbucks all the time who ended up getting married, that chick was fucking horrendous. So fucking when those were the kind of girls that you were fucking going after, dude, like yeah, it's gonna be a fucking heartbreak and a half, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. And like I've had experience with dealing with some fucking horrible chicks that I had no business going out with. And you live and you fucking learn, man. But fucking again, you gotta go to the areas where the nice girls are and not the areas where the fucking shitty girls are.
But
Which is
um, but the
uh,
thing is, I have approached nice girls, right?
okay.
Maybe, but actually, this is something interesting we should talk about. Do you believe? Okay, we talk about fake nice guys, right? Fake nice guys exist. Do you think there's fake nice girls that
I
exist?
think that anybody so I think it comes down to intelligence, right? So a stupid person who is bad is just going to be honest about it and be out front and like outspoken about it, right? If they're not smart enough to cover up the fact that they're a shitty person. But if you're a shitty person and you're intelligent, you're not going to start out with that. You're going to be likable. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, you know how Ted Bundy killed people? He made people his friend. Like he got to know them. He made them feel bad for him and then he killed them. So, yeah, I mean that's just the nature of a predatory animal, man. They trick you into thinking that they're good. And you know, that happens to the best of us. We run into people who are shit that pretend like they're not, but you know,
Hmm.
you just watch out for the warning signs. I mean, biggest thing is just make sure someone keeps their word.
That's why I kind of feel like, in a weird sense, that's where like I probably met a lot of these girls that were I thought were nice, but they were fake nice, especially in
Probably. I
college.
mean, that's what that chick sounded like.
I
And I
mean,
think
I'll be honest with you. I just think that maybe there's not a lot of genuine nice girls anymore, and they're the ones that are taken. Maybe that's the case.
this is probably a really controversial thing to say. I don't really believe in good people. I don't really think good people exist. I know that like there's a lot of like here's the thing. I think that in order to be a good person, you would have to not do anything wrong, and the only person who's never done anything wrong is God. So God would be the only good person. Like so I think that ultimately every bad thing that we do really just stems down to our ego because everybody on earth wants to protect that. They have an ego, they have self-desire, self-wants, and they want to preserve themselves. And in order to do that, they do bad things to other people. And you know, sometimes you'll do a bad thing to somebody else and not even realize it, you know? You'll just think about it like 2 or 3 years later like, "Man, that was a really shitty fucking thing that I did." You know, you don't even like consider it at the time, but then you realize because you grew a little more and you realize more things about morality that perhaps you hurt somebody, perhaps somebody hurt you, perhaps somebody did something, but it all comes down to A, forgiveness. You forgive other people and you forgive yourself. And B, it's just like the realization. I think that realization, a lot of people hear me say, I don't believe in good people, and they think that I'm saying fuck people. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is zoom out, realize that you've fucked people over before too. I've fucked people over before too. We've all hurt somebody and done something fucked up, and we've done things we're not proud of. So we need to have a little more charity for people who've done fucked up things and who've hurt us and who've hurt other people. Because who knows? Maybe if we were in their shoes, we would have done the same exact fucking thing. We don't know because we don't know what it's like to be them and we don't know their life. Like maybe fucking, and it doesn't make it okay, but who's to say that one of these girls that hurt your feelings didn't have her heart broken by some really shitty guy who cheated on them and treated them like shit, and now they're just trying to get back at the world? That doesn't make it okay. Of course it
Yeah.
doesn't make it okay, but then you can kind of understand where they're coming from, and it makes it easier to forgive them because you can realize that, hey, maybe I would have done the same exact thing. And I don't know, like
That
it's
reminds me.
difficult, man. It's fucking difficult because sometimes you really don't want to fucking forgive people because it's just like in your head, you're like, man, fuck them. I want nothing to do with them and keep them away from me. But then it's just like, man, it's important. It's important because you'd want them to do the same for you. So I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that phrase you just said just reminded me of the Matthew Lillard quote from the What a Man's Wants or something. I think that movie, right? Matt Lillard, aka Shaggy from Scooby Doo. Like you know
I
how
know him as the
there's
Scream
a
guy.
one man like one girl, and he got and yeah, the Scream guy. He want like one girl. They were like, there was the romantic types back then, and he gave it up all. But then he got rocked. He got heartbroken, and you know what I'm talking about. We
No, I
already
know what you're
we got.
saying.
That's why I want to start reacting. I
In
want to start reacting to some movies,
the scene in
some
this film that
scenes.
he's
That
talking
we fan
about
off.
is Matthew Lillard
Yeah,
crying and saying that, some girl broke his heart and then that caused him in anger to go out and hurt other people. Now, you see, it's okay to be upset because some girl broke your heart, but at that moment, that means that you have to break the cycle. You can't then go on and do that to other people. Like,
yeah.
you have a responsibility not to hurt other people, even if someone hurts you. Like, that's just the fucking truth of the matter. You can't then take your pain and inflict it on others. Like, that's never okay.
I feel like I'm not trying to sound egotistical. I have more reason to do all that, but I don't want to. So I
This
think,
you might have a reason. Everybody has a reason to hurt somebody. I can think of a million reasons right now to go to someone's house and knock on their door and punch them in the face when they open. Like fucking, but I don't do that because I realize I shouldn't be doing that. There's
yeah.
plenty of people in my life who I would like to send to a North Korean labor camp, but I
Mhm.
can't do that.
But well, I mean, like either like trying to be mean to some random chick. I would not do that. So,
Never.
because, but I do think the whole idea of fake nice girls. It's funny. The world talks about fake nice guys, but we don't talk about fake nice girls enough. I think. Again, these are the girls that you'll see at like you're not just the bars. Like they'll be nice to you. Hey, can you give me a drink and all that kind of stuff. But it's also they'll like, hey, can you help me with this homework and all that kind of stuff. It's been you're getting to time they have always exists, where they'll use people for whatever they have, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's true. I think everybody has that. I just think that that's probably more associated with masculinity because of the fact that men want to fuck real bad, and so they'll pretend to be like really stand up good guys to get in the girls' pants and then ditch them. So once it comes to like fake nice guys, I think it is actually probably a lot more prevalent with men because there's so much competition. Like we were talking about last time, where you had said it's easier for a woman to fuck than it is for a man. That's when men start getting smart and start lying. I knew this guy who used to go to bars and tell people that he was like in the CIA to get them to fucking sleep with him. And it was just like, it was fucking bullshit, but he had this extravagant story in his head. But it wasn't like, it's not a good thing, obviously. Don't lie to people and don't fucking be something that you're not. But regardless, I think, yeah, you're going to see that a lot more on the men's side when it comes to like sniping people like that than you are on women's side. I think, again, like you said, fake niceness from women a lot of the time comes from not wanting to hurt your feelings. And fake niceness from men comes from wanting to use their body and then ditch them. So I think it's two different things that we're kind of talking about here.
Okay. Well, I still think that like fake nice because I was talking this with my buddies. Like we talk about like he talked about man, a lot of these women do kind of use you and shit. Like he has mentioned that. Um, and it's like we kind of agree. Like man, like what? And we even talk about how I'm not trying to be egotistical. I don't want to come off of some like like oh like always talking about nice guys finish last or whatever. Like it does like maybe to an extent certain people, good men do sadly finish last, but like
What matters
unfortunately,
what you mean by finish last?
it
If
depends.
finish last means that some vapid chick is gonna pick some other fucking guy over you because she thinks that he's more attractive, then honestly you fucking win out in the end because you didn't end up with some fucking retard. Like fucking nice guys finish last. I mean, I just say bullshit to that. At the end of the day, man, like if you're fucking like if you know if you know that you're fucking solid, who fucking cares about finishing last, bro? Fucking, there's this thing Bob Dylan said one time. They asked him, what would you say to somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of money? How would you tell them how to be successful? And his response was, money isn't shit as long as you wake up in the morning, go to bed at night, and in between you did the things you wanted to do and you're satisfied with yourself, you're a success. That's what success is. It's about being your own person and making your own path. It's not about creating yourself. It's not about fucking the material things that you can get in this fucking world. It's about being fucking set right with who you are, man.
I think like when it comes to like the whole term of nice guys finishing last is like again they're the ones that are not picked at first, and they're the ones that have to wait. I guess after when that's when the girls would want them after they let's say like again it goes to the term of the wall. I'm not. This is not trying to insult women. I'm not trying to fucking sound like whatever the pills and whatever the freaking manosphere stuff is. But again, like that's what like I think what a lot of the whole argument of the guys like all nice guys finish last because that's when they're only wanted, right? Or maybe when they do work their way up, that's when they're wanted. Like they go through all bunch of heartbreaks and all the freaking issues of not being wanted, but once they really put in the effort of not only like maybe looks maxing, but also just really got really rich. That's when because that's when money really pays off. I would say. And again, you say like it's not about materialistic. That's what genuine guys, should not care about. It's like whatever makes them very happy, which obviously should. But I think that's where the whole terms with the whole popular belief of nice guys finish last. That's where it comes into play.
I mean,
And
I get the concept of nice guys finish last. I just think that it's kind of bullshit. And I think that, again, it's kind of like a high school mentality of like, man, Chad got with Stacy and I'm just the loser over here, man. Like, fucking, that's not the real world. Like, this whole nice guys finish last thing, man. Nice guys finish last with girls who don't want nice guys. You need to end up with a nice girl who does want to end up with a nice guy, fucking. And
yeah,
again, like I was saying, it's like finding somebody in like the right situation.
yeah,
It's not these 304s at the bar. It's the people in social situations. I would even say, motherfucker, you live in New York City. Have you ever heard of speed dating? Like, that's a real fucking thing that you can go do. You can just go do that. They set up an event for you to sit down with a bunch of people, see who you like the most, and go out with them, man. Like, what can you do? It's fun. Have fun.
But wait, you're talking to me about like you're like asking me about speeding, or you're thinking I'm accusing myself of the whole nice guy thing?
I'm not accusing you of anything.
Uh,
What I'm saying is you need to go to a place where nice girls are. Anybody who thinks that nice guys finish last is just sitting there with a negative mentality. That's
I
all
used
that
to.
is.
So
Nice
let me tell
guys
you this. Okay, so continue. Sorry if I'm interrupting you.
nice guys finish last is something that people tell themselves to justify the fact that they're on the bottom right now. You need to get that fucking phrase out of your head. That's like when guys talk to themselves all day saying, I'm a loser, I'm worthless, I'm nothing. When you keep reinforcing that in your head, that's going to be the fucking truth. You're going to make yourself worthless, you're going to make yourself a loser, and you're going to make yourself nothing. And if you start saying nice guys finish last, that's going to do two things to you. One, that's going to fucking say that because I've been nice this long, that's why I'm on the bottom. And two, that's going to be a justification for you to act like a piece of shit. Because when you say nice guys finish last, the first thing you're going to think is, well, if I want to not finish last, then I need to be an asshole. Well, that's not the fucking case. That's complete bullshit. And so I think that phrase, again, is just a way for people to shirk responsibility.
Yeah, I used to be one of those people, right? About nice guys finish last. I used to be those people. And I do
Right.
think that generally, like good people do sadly have those issues. I do like, and I think if you call yourself a nice guy, you probably are nice. I think that's like what I've learned the harsh truth, right? I'm not saying again. I'm not gonna say what I am. It's up to people to believe if I'm a nice guy or not. Maybe I have not been nice on here, but again, maybe depends. I only care about what people think about me in real life. I only care about Emery thinks about me in real life. Okay, I'm only. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I fucking act like an asshole here on YouTube because it's fucking YouTube. Okay, when I talk about fucking wrestling sucking, I'm gonna fucking be the bad guy if I want to be. Okay, because I'm fucking passionate about wrestling. I want wrestling to be better. I want wrestling to be good. If that takes me from being a fucking asshole, it's fucking fine. You know, I'm not gonna be a cocksucker to fucking act like oh I be nice. No. I'm gonna be fucking real. Okay, but let's talk about how I learned about this whole nice guy idea. I do think it's like some syndrome thing, but right. I do think it's not that nice guys finish last. The whole idea, I do think, when it comes to, if anything, there are nice guys that do get girl. Like again, there are nice guys that do get girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, like, and I do think that Emery, you might disagree with this, but this goes back to the idea, like, where it's not nice guys finish last, it's unattractive men finish last. Because
Oh.
those are the ones that have to work hard. So I'm a believer of this phrase, if anything, where if you're unattractive, that's how you finish last. If you're unattractive, you finish last, or you probably don't finish at all. That's where I would go on to say. All right. Why I say that? And I think that's my new phrase of thinking of like what is really more so the case. Where
Mm-hmm.
again, if you're unattractive, of course, it's gonna be a hard way to get a girl. Especially if you want to get a very cute chick that you're really interested in, you think girl's fucking beautiful, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
be with her, and you probably do. You improve yourself so much. You go to the gym, you are sociable, you do all this type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, you're not the conventionally attractive type of dude. It's gonna take a lot of more work than just because you don't have the looks. It's gonna take a lot more work to either make that girl be appealed to you.
Oh
And yeah,
yeah? Well then fucking do it. That's my thing. If you're ugly, that's God telling you something. That's not life being unfair. If you're ugly, that means you have to fucking work on something. That means you have to make yourself stand out and be better than the attractive man in some other realm of the fucking world, man. Like, fuck any fucking guy who sits around, oh, I'm so ugly. I can't believe I'm ugly. Fuck you. Grow the fuck up. You're not fucking 5 years old anymore. If you're gonna fucking sit around bitching about pretty privilege, get the fuck out because it's fucking stupid. This is very fucking retarded. Fucking, it's not even a fucking conversation to be having because every single fucking person on the planet has someone who finds them attractive. Whether or not you're fucking attracted to them or not, someone thinks you're attractive. I know men that are attracted to fat fucking women, and that's all they fucking can get them off. They're just got a fat tubby fetish. And there are plenty of women who are like, I want to be with a big bear. I want to be with a femboy. I want to be with a blah, 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 blah. Or not somebody who I would ever think is attractive. Fuck. There was a girl I was attracted to. I was really into her. We talked for a little bit. And then she ended up with this obese guy. And I'm just like, whatever. Like, that is what it is. It's just fucking like, I don't know. The idea of you're unattractive so you can't get with women, it's like, no, you can't get with women because you're a fucking chud. Like, that's all that comes down to. Fucking, I don't know, man. Fucking,
you just gotta work on your
is this gonna tie into the Luigi topic at all?
what Luigi topic.
You mentioned that you wanted to talk about
Oh,
Luigi.
that'll be in a future video. But again, I know I totally get what you're saying. The whole about like again, I know we've been arguing about pretty privilege and whatever. I mean, I do think it's a thing, but at the end of the day, we're not. There's obviously you just gotta compensate, right? You can't let that obviously stop you, and especially like if you're. Let's be honest here. There's no real person that's really ugly, right? Unless you unfortunately have a condition.
If you're deformed or if you've eaten too much, those are like the two main things. If you're not in a wheelchair, if you're upright and you're walking around, you can do quite a bit to make your appearance at least look normal. And there are plenty of women that'll date a normal looking guy.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's just you just got to work a little harder, unfortunately, which sucks. But what can you do? You have to. We That's probably what one of our things of what Emery said about God, right? That's our little challenge. Maybe it could be a blessing where we strive to be a better of ourselves.
Absolutely.
So that's something I would say about like the whole issue of where I do like I believe yes where when I say the phrase unattractive man finished last, like it's gonna be harder for them to get a girl, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. You
No,
just gotta work
nothing
harder.
is impossible as long as you fucking work at it.
Exactly. What was I gonna say? But yeah, about the fake nice girls thing. So a little story. I don't know if I told you about it. Again. Like I do think when it comes to the whole fake nice girls, they do exist. It's just we don't complain about it much or whatever. Not that we need to. I mean, sure, complain about things is not going to stop anything, right? That's why we should not really. But it's just obviously have a conversation to talk about it, right? Why not talk about it and let it be known? I do think like from my experience, and you may agree, like maybe I'm chasing the wrong girl, but I do think like maybe I have met these girls who are nice. It's just like they won't be nice to at a certain time, or again, um I do think that there is a lot of women, it seems that even that I've approached, they do have like maybe some little bit of superficialness. I think, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm only if that's just me thinking my ass, because again, like I do think I have met some nice girls. It's just again, either like they just eventually don't want, because I will tell you this, like I met this, because I met nice girls. Like I would talk to them for a long time, and I hate that have to say I trap these girls, like making me seem like I'm a fucking I'm like some creep trapping them. Like
That's not
no,
the
I
point.
do.
You're a creep for trapping the. That's not what he was getting at when he said that you're trapping people in conversation. It's not just women that you do this to. It's everybody. You have a tendency to fucking get people into a conversation and to not let them leave and to keep asking them questions. If you go to the end of the last episode that we did, that's the perfect example because Righty wanted to leave for like 10 minutes and you kept asking him questions so he wouldn't fucking leave. And he kept and it makes people feel trapped. And it's not like fucking you got to give people the opportunity to reject you, otherwise their love isn't real.
Mhm.
That's like a thing when you see biggest example when you look at North Korea and Kim Jong Un walks in and everybody in fucking North Korea is going, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not real. None of that is real. And that's
Fine.
not real love for him. And I don't understand how he can walk around feeling like those people love him because they don't. That's all manufactured. And when it's
Yeah.
manufactured, it's one way and it's you doing it at them. And it's just it's an uncomfortable situation. And I
Mhm.
think that's what a lot of it comes down to is that these women probably are in a situation where it's like, okay, I want to go do something else. And then you just keep asking them questions to keep the conversation going because you can feel it falling apart. I've done that too, where it's like, oh
Okay.
no, this is dying. I gotta keep talking. I gotta keep fucking
So
talking.
I'll tell you what I done a bunch of times. So like, if that you don't know, I would literally ask like I would literally give the girl ask the like, oh, am I like Barney, or is there like, I literally asked them like, oh, do you still want to talk? Am I bothering you, or is there somewhere you got to go, whatever? Because I don't want to take much of your time. And they will say like, no, no, not a problem. Like I've done that. So if you think that I trapped the girl, like no, I don't. I actually like would ask those questions, and it's like
Okay. Again,
so.
I don't have a camera on you. I can't say either way which way you do it. I haven't
That's
been there.
why. So before we started this video, Emery did have an idea that we should probably maybe do some cold approaches, or hopefully we get like a camera where I basically do
A
actually.
camera or a hidden microphone might be better. Camera glasses might be too much. Like they might be able to see the camera in the glasses. But if we got like a hidden microphone on you, we could just listen to the interaction and it wouldn't have to be a visual thing. Cause like you don't want to creep somebody out by like filming them. But and we probably wouldn't want to play the audio on the show just to protect the privacy of the other person who you're speaking to.
Mhm.
However, I can listen to it on my own, take notes, and then come back and tell you what's going on with it.
It would be good content if I had a camera guy and I would be like a cold approach type of dude. It would be. I guarantee you, it would not only be good for the channel, get lots of views.
And that
Uh,
that
it,
would
it,
be good for your channel for sure. It's just that I don't know how you would do that practically without A, breaking a law, or B, just creating a bad situation for yourself. I think that in order to film somebody like that, especially in like an interview setting or like something like that, you have to get a legal waiver for them to sign off to have themselves featured in a video, especially if you're planning to make money off of it. Just from a legal standpoint, you really need both people's consent to be filmed and have like a recording of them. And that's another big reason that we should probably do the tactic of having me listen to it and then I can take notes and then just talk to you about it, because in that way then we would also be protecting ourselves from getting sued in the future.
no, but here's the thing, though. Like, I mean, there is like it is in the law that you're not gonna be unless for certain things. I'm not sure. I don't. I'm not gonna act like I know everything about the law. But there's been people who done cold approach videos on YouTube that it's just
Oh,
again. So
Maybe so. I don't know.
so we could it's just if I go in that same direction, it just again if only I had a camera guy and I had a microphone where I can, you know, go up to a girl and just talk to her. Right? I mean, I think that honestly, I can prove I have game. So,
Okay.
um, it just again, you know, man, I gotta tell it just it would be nice to mention that or just show, but you know, just how not how it is. But what I'm trying to say, you know,
Well,
I
you
have
know
a
me more than anybody else that you know, probably. I'm a very honest person. I don't lie. I don't bullshit. And if you were going to show me a video or an audio recording of you being an absolute Chad with some chick, bro, I'd commend you on it and I'd tell everybody. I'd be like, actually, guys, I was wrong. Like,
I'm gonna tell you one good, and this is what you should probably practice. But I actually realized, you know, this is something you probably won't work out because you're vegan, right?
not anymore.
Or you're not? Are
No,
you
I was for a
vegetarian?
while. Huh?
Are you vegetarian at least, or are you just?
It depends. So, with, I'm Eastern Orthodox. So, during, certain seasons, like right now we're about to go into Lent, and
Yeah.
during that time for about 40 days I have to eat vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So during that time I will be, and during a lot of other times throughout the year I am as well. But it's just kind of on and off depending on what the occasion is.
Oh shit, we're about to be kind of dealing the same thing. I'm about to start fasting soon. Ramadan's coming up like this week.
Damn, y'all stole that from us. You stole that from us.
But yeah, we're kind of gonna be doing a little, you know, fasting our own too. Except you know, you're just gonna fast till from sunrise to sundown. So yeah, we're
Hell
not
yeah,
gonna be
man.
fasting from meat. Man, I tell you, man, I love me some freaking man. I just love chicken, bro. I love it all. I love it
Oh,
all.
dude,
It
I went to
just you
this
know
fucking
doesn't help that a
so
lot.
because we're about to go vegan, there was another Orthodox church around here that was throwing a meat night where they were just cooking meat and like just eating it with our bare hands, just eating a bunch of meat. I tried some of the
Mm.
craziest animals that I've never had before. I tried beaver meat and I tried elk meat. And I gotta say, both of those were fucking excellent and they just taste like steak. Beaver tastes exactly like steak, and so does elk. It all just tastes like cows, which is weird. I had assumed that beaver meat and elk meat would probably have a distinct flavor, but really they just taste like cows.
When you mentioned beaver, like, oh, but you did you know? This is probably one of the weird things about me knowing like things. Um, for those who don't know, I have like I have an expertise or know things about food. Um, did you know that a lot of ice creams involve beavers?
Really?
Yes. So a
What is it
beaver,
about? What is it, like something in their skin? What is it?
the beaver butt.
How come?
Because so beavers they have like a sweeter tone in their body. A lot of their like especially there's like a little milkiness involved in the beaver. Like they actually have like milk right in the
Yeah, I mean like any mammal.
yeah. Um, part of the milk is for the meat, and they put it into the ice creams actually. So it's
Huh.
so like for example, was it what's a popular brand? Turkey Hill. I think Turkey Hill is one
Yeah.
of the popular brand that has beaver in it. That
Wow, I had no idea about that. That's interesting. That reminds me, I knew this vegan guy back in the day. His name was Lewis, and he was from Great Britain, and he was very against the idea of eating ice cream because the cow can't consent to being milked, right? It's like raping a cow. So his idea, or it wasn't even an idea, it was an event that he went to. He went to an event where these women who were pregnant were making ice cream with their breast milk. And he said he ate it and it tasted exactly like regular ice cream. Now, I believe him because I recently discovered ice cream in Great Britain is actually not ice cream. It's something completely different. When they eat ice cream in a tub, so weirdly enough, in the US, if you're making ice cream, it has to be like at least 25% milk or something like that. Like it
mm,
has to have a certain percentage of actual milk before you can put the words ice cream on the container.
Yeah.
But in Great Britain, they don't have rules like that with ice cream. So they're essentially eating like it's like frozen coffee creamer essentially that they're eating out of a thing. I've heard that it has like the same it's cold but it has like the same texture as cotton candy. So, I don't know, I haven't had it, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I
I think
assume breast milk ice cream is probably better than that.
I know what you're talking about. It's something called semi Frito.
I think you're right. It's something like that or like
Yeah.
it's like almost iced milk, but it's not really.
It technically is ice milk. It's, let's just say it has a softer consistency than ice cream. It's like kind of cakey.
Holy fucking shit, it just fucking dawned on me. You're good at cooking food, aren't you? You're good at cooking food. What can I do to make a woman like me? You're good at cooking food. Do you know how much fucking that puts you above almost every other man on the
You
planet?
not know how much I would cook a storm, but no girl want to fucking date me, bro. I would fucking impress them. I could make a cacio e pepe. I could make a
Dude,
freaking.
dude, dude, you're just presenting yourself wrong. That's all it is. Once you fucking
Oh,
present
yo,
yourself
yo, that's like
correctly,
fuck
you
a
can do this. No, listen to me.
storm.
Dude, fuck a coffee date, fuck a fucking dinner date, all of that retarded bullshit. The fact that you can cook is so goddamn sexy to a woman. I can't even begin to fucking tell you. Like, fucking, oh my god. Like, it just fucking hit me that you can cook. Fuck asking a girl to go on a date for coffee or for any of that. You invite them to a place like a fucking public park or a fucking somewhere like that and have a picnic or go to a park with benches and stuff and bring a fucking meal that you made. Are
But
you shitting me?
do you not
You've
know?
never have you ever asked a woman if she would do that with you?
I was gonna get to it. I was gonna get to it. I was gonna get to it. When I was with my boy Chi, we went to this bar, right? We were tracking
Uh-huh.
up this. Oh, man, I gotta tell you this story. This is where, okay, for you guys that wanna, for Emery's vision of like, Zuby going out of town. Trust me, we're gonna get more in deep of the whole fun of talking more about dating, coachy, whatever. We're gonna also call it a little bit of Zuby nightlife or nightlife Zuby time.
I
Watch
like that.
coming to us soon. You'll be hearing stories of Zubair talking about his attempts of going cold approaches, the nightlife. Well, that's what I think we could talk than just topics in general. We're gonna talk about Zuby nightlife. We're
And
gonna
then I
talk,
can
and it's
teach
gonna
you a
be
warm approach.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Okay, me and my boy Chi, um, we went to this famous bar called Fiddlesticks. Met these two chicks. One of them was obviously a girl my type. We were just chatting up. I don't even remember how we started convo, but oh yeah, all I know is that they applaud me from. I had a American flag shirt. It was not the American flag shirt that Roddy hates, but it was definitely American. It was around the time America 4th of July type of shit, right? Around that time. I was like pro America, right? I had a nice shirt. A lot of people, cool. A lot of guys like hell yeah, hell yeah, America, bro. I guess that's one of the things they mentioned. But we also talk about other stuff. Oh yeah, my friend he played with Adam Sandler basketball. I don't know if you noticed, but Adam Sandler plays basketball with local New Yorkers,
That's cool.
and he played with him. They mentioned that we were talking about baby daddy with the girls. Um, oh yeah, I don't know why, but I mentioned how hey, like we were like talking about cooking and stuff for some reason. And then I mentioned, yeah, I can make a cacio e pepe. And then like the girl thought it was cool, whatever. But like even like, but I gotta tell you, man, listen, you may think that's like a make a woman turn on, but they didn't care.
No, it is a turn on if you do it right. If you do it right with the right person, let me tell you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at cooking, but I've convinced many a woman that I am good at cooking. So I think that uh, the fact that you would even be willing to make something and the fact that you're good at it was going to help a lot. And the thing is, um, you know, I think something that could help, like if you matched with a girl on a dating app or if you were talking to somebody over Instagram or something, you're like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, nothing much. What about you? Just be like, oh, nothing much. I just cooked some fucking badass chicken masala or whatever the hell you just made. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, like that sounds awesome. And then you can be like, yeah, what do you think? And you can take a picture of it and send it. And like you can talk about it. And if they're like, hey, that looks good, you can be like, well, if you'd like, I mean, I can make you some sometime. And like we could maybe do something like fucking I mean, that's just an example of something you could do. I wouldn't lead with that, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to where, a girl is saying, hi, how are you? What are you up to? You can fucking, oh my God, it'd be so easy to lead into fucking, I'm a good cook. Fucking didn't realize I was fucking talking to Muhammad Ramsey over here.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think that like really because I do think that women would think that's like feminine. You know what I mean?
No, no, no woman will agree with that at all. And also, all of the most famous chefs in the world, men.
Okay, but I don't think they care, bro. I mean, I'm
They
not trying to
do.
like.
They do. Oh my God. Every time I've cooked for a chick, they were crazy about it. Crazy about it. They love that shit.
Hmm,
When they
yeah,
say a key to a woman's heart is through her stomach, that's very fucking
I
true.
agree. I agree. I agree. Oh man, definitely pastas is one of the best things you can cook
It's
for a
and
girl.
it's so easy. I make a fucking baller Cajun chicken pasta, man.
Uh, okay, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's all about technique. I know how to make now a authentic fettuccine alfredo.
Fuck yeah.
Authentic fettuccine is really three ingredients, by the way.
And I'm guessing noodles, chicken, and Alfredo.
No, dude. Italians would fucking kill you even got chicken and alfredo. That's not authentic. But that's American Italian. Where if you're making a fettuccine Alfredo, whatever, or just any Alfredo style, it's basically cream, milky with cheese in it. It's basically milk sauce. But the way that the Italians do it, they make it an emulsion, right? You boil the fettuccine, or whatever pasta, but obviously traditionally straight up fettuccine. You put it in a bowl, right? You have make sure some pasta water. The pasta water is the key, by the way. Pasta water is a luxury because you could just the starchiness from the pasta goes into the water you're golden, right? Use that and the Parmigiano Reggiano. Just mix it up, man. Just keep mixing it, and as you go, you just put in the more pasta water. Make sure you have a shit ton of cheese, by the way. That's how you make the emotion, right? There's um there's a famous restaurant in Italy. It's called I think if it Alfredo Scanasora or something. I don't know. It's been documented a bunch of times by the foodies of YouTube. Even guys like Mark Weens. I don't know if you heard of Mark Weens. But he's a famous like YouTuber, right? That covers food, traveling the world. Um, yeah, that's how fettuccine alfredo. Fettuccine alfredo is three ingredients, maximum flavor. Okay. Um, but yeah, the American Italian, obviously, it's fantastic. It's something that I would like to do. Where if I'm like pairing a chicken, that's where I'm gonna do it. Especially it's good for a Balkan. For like a nice Balkan, especially like let's just say this. I think chicks they're more like into the idea of the American Italian. They want to talk about like, let's talk about this, right? And what I know from chicks. Chicks like to
Okay.
say they love Italian food, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't like authentic Italian food. They like freaking American Italian food. Think about chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan is not even authentic Italian food. It's fucking American Italian. It's fake Italian.
That's
Okay.
that. I don't. As long as the food's good, I don't give a fuck where it's
I
from.
mean, I
Like
agree.
I like Olive Garden. That's how fucking gross I am. Like I like all sorts of fucking food. All fucking like here's the thing, man. I'm in a group on Facebook called Pizzaholics, And these motherfuckers will take pictures of pizza from around New York and New Jersey and all that and be like, this is the best goddamn pizza ever.
This is why we got to go all that.
And then I leave comments on it, and I'm always like, yeah, but it's got nothing on a Little Caesars. And they freak the fuck out
I would
every
freak the
single
fuck
time.
out too. The fuck?
It's so funny. It makes them so upset. But like, and here's the thing, their pizza's obviously better than Little Caesars. It just bugs me how pretentious these fucking guys are. They're always like, man, I'd rather eat a brick than eat Little Caesars pizza. It's like, if you've only got $5 and you want pizza, you go to Little Caesars and you give them $5, you can get a pepperoni pizza, and that ain't fucking bad. That ain't fucking bad at all, and it tastes like food, and it's good pizza, and it's not like it's not the best in the world. Obviously, I could probably make one that's better than that, but if I want a quick pizza for $5, you can't get better than Little Caesars. I mean, fucking, like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I think people get too fucking caught up in like, this is the best way to do something. This is the only way to do it. I got in a fucking argument the other day with my roommate about steak, right? And here's my thing, right? Medium rare steak is better every time. I agree with that. However, if someone was to make a steak well done and present it to me, I would eat it because it's fucking steak. It's gonna be good. It might not be as good as a medium rare, but it'll still be fucking good. It's still food.
If
And
you're
what kind
really
of,
hungry.
yeah, exactly. Like, just fucking eat it, man. Like, fucking, it's so fucking, that's the most American thing in the world. Like,
There's an
that's,
art. There's an
huh?
art to make a well done steak. Okay.
There's an art to making any food. I'm just saying that, like, regardless, man, if you've got food in front of you and you're hungry, eat it. Don't be a pretentious snob.
So you had well done steak before?
I've
Literally?
had all kinds of steak. And again, I like medium rare better, but I have had well done steak and I thought it was all right.
Mm. So you didn't notice it was like very chewy or like
No, it's definitely tough. It's
oh,
definitely, tougher and chewier.
okay. So definitely I would say the only time like I would say I was confidently say that a well done steak could be nice and juicy if so I have this grill called the Tifa Opti grill. It's a famous grill and it actually cooks well done steak to still be juicy. Uh, it's amazing. And same thing. And I gotta tell you, man, if you're afraid of cooking fish, the Opti Grill will handle your fish, your scare of fish. They'll do you wonders because it could cook a well done salmon is freaking delicious, especially the crispy skin that comes with
Oh
it.
my god, dude. I fucking love
Can we just talk
salmon.
about cooking from now
I
on?
I don't care, dude. I'm a big food guy, dude. I love food. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Food is like a great thing for me. Like, I like going to different markets and just seeing what different food they have and being like, I'll pick that up sometime and eat that. There's a local Asian market here that's literally just called Asia Mart. And you go to the back and they've got a fucking big ass thing of seafood and they've got full ass squids there, bro. You just buy a squid, take it home, cook it, and eat it. That is something I want to do so
Squid
bad. Is
pasta? Do you
huh?
ever? What do you think of the idea of squid pasta?
That sounds good.
I'll
Fucking
send you a recipe. I have never done squid pasta, but I'm intrigued of it. I do know that you know what I've been always tempted the idea. I remember when they were doing a throwdown with Bobby Flay episode on the Food Network, right? And the idea of squid pasta was really intriguing when they were like doing the Feast of the Seven Fishes. Um, are you Italian by any chance? Or you're like, what's your background?
That's really funny. A lot of people ask me that because when you listen to me talk long enough, you can kind of hear like little Italian isms in the way that I speak. But like, no, I don't think so. I don't actually really know. There might be some in there, but from what I know about my racial background, I'm mostly English, Scottish, and German.
Mm. But yeah, the Feast of the Seven Fishes is like essential to have a pasta dish. I know, but it's gotta be seafood. Everything of the Feast of the Seven Fishes again, fishes, right? Which
Yeah, I
should be
got you.
seafood.
That sounds good. I'm a big seafood guy. I love seafood, especially when Asians make it, dude. Like there's a Thai place here called Atlanta Thai, and they have a seafood combination fried rice where you get shrimp, fish, and squid in your fried rice. It's like fucking God made food in heaven and just put it down right in front of you, man. It's fucking
Fish
amazing.
fish for a long time,
Yeah.
and it's more bang for your buck.
Oh,
Um,
and if you go to the Asian market, and
mhm,
they got this big fucking they've got this big aquarium for the
mhm.
catfish. You can just buy a live catfish and
Oh,
like they'll kill it and you can take it home.
catfish.
Yes, catfish is the shit. But they
Oh,
don't. Here's the fucked up thing about this place: they don't clean the tank, so the fish all die and they just float to the top. It's fucking gross.
that's not very that's very hygienic. Not hygienic. That's very that's very no not that's very hygienic, isn't it? Oh god. Okay, well, I was gonna say, freaking those two girls that I saw with my boy Chi. I even recommended Joe's Pizza. You know, bro. Speaking of Pizza, again, my a lot of my nightlife adventures involved Joe's Pizza. Which, by the way, Joe's Pizza was in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Aziz's Pizza has a 29-minute guarantee, and I know to you that promise doesn't mean anything, Parker. But to me, a promise means a lot. Promise means a lot to me too, sir. That's the scene from the film.
you know what that.
Were you playing Got Your Nose? Was that what that was?
Well, no, I was just trying
I'm
to take your.
25 years old. You're trying to get my nose?
I was trying to take your stupid logo off your helmet, Mr.
Oh,
Parker.
oh. I thought you were trying to play Got Your Nose. I thought you were trying to take my nose from me.
Yeah. Okay, let's just fucking call this episode "Girls That Food That Girls Would Love" or something. Please, I want to talk about food all the time. But what was I trying to say? What were we talking about before? Fucking cooking something like. Oh, yeah.
Call
You
this
see,
episode Muhammad Ramsey. That would be fucking beautiful.
Semi Freda, right? Why were we talking about freaking ice cream or something beforehand? Like, I'm trying to
We were
think.
talking about what kind of milk to make ice cream with. You said there was beaver ass in ice cream.
And then, but we were also talking about like, why did beaver come into the play
Oh,
anyways?
because I told you that I ate beaver meat the other night.
Or because we're all meat lovers. Something about meat, like because we were talking about meat. I don't know.
Oh, you had asked me if I was vegan, and I told you not really.
Oh, the reason why I asked for vegan. Oh, the vegan. The reason why. I'm gonna tell you why I have game, man. Okay, let's say if I'm talking to a chick, right? And this was, I think, the same thing that the girl I met recently at the bus, right? And honestly, I really do think that the conversation was. And oh yeah, no one mentioned this about Righty, right? Before, I know I got things to say about Righty, but whatever. And again, this is not me like some attacking Righty, right? Um, I feel like Righty exaggerates things of in terms of like, oh, it was so good to meet you. I love meeting you. Like I did not say that. You're like you're freaking exaggerating the idea, making me sound like I'm worse than I was.
He has a
Um,
way of exaggerating for sure and being very exasperated when he talks.
yeah,
But what he was saying, there's a
I
kernel of
get it
truth
though.
in there.
I get
Like,
it.
it was just like what he was saying was just that message that you sent came off wrong. And again, bro, man, I wish you would have told me you were good at cooking before because I fucking.
Okay. So I was gonna ask. This is why I told the chick, right? Or like how they're like, this is this is what I've done a few times, and I learned this from like watching Cola Broach videos, and I think this is a game. This is really good where it makes you seem like relatable to the girl, and it's just like makes her like kind of like think you're cool and have like that charisma. Okay. I asked her. I think when I okay, she mentioned like this is it's these three things where I would say okay. She mentioned, oh, so you got you have a nice scarf that from Primerica or not Primerica, not Primark, whatever. You teach kids or you help kids after school. She helps kids after school. And I asked her this last question: are you vegan? And it said no. That's for it. Meat for life. I mean, just freaking bashed her hands. That dude, I'm telling you, that's how you talk to chicks. That's honestly makes them think you're fucking cool as fuck.
If you
I've
ask
done
them
that
if
a
they're
bunch of times.
vegan, they say no, and you give them
I
a
think
high
I've done that to
five.
the Marvin. Yeah, I give them a high five for like not being vegan because like, that's like because bro, that's like fucking badass, right? And I did that to the fucking two girls when I was with my boy Chi. I think like where that's literally my go-to thing. Like you ask them and then you ask them that last question: are you vegan? And it's like no. It's like me for life, and it's like Bam. I got that from a YouTuber named Jack Denmo. By his cold approaches, I've learned from him.
Didn't that guy get outed for being a creep or something?
Holy shit, you know that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. Okay, do you think like he's a creep?
Looking at his pictures, yeah, probably.
Come on, don't think he's okay. I honestly, okay, first of all, he got a bunch of chicks. I just think it's like one of those occasions where, like, oh, one chick cried rape because he's like well known or something. You know?
Oh no, he's a pickup artist and he got a rape accusation.
Yeah.
It probably happened.
How? Come
It
on. No, he got
probably
a
happened.
girl. He
That's
got
what that
girl.
culture breeds, man. Is just fucking weirdness around women, and that's all that is, and that's just the perfect like encapsulation of what happens.
Do you know that he's a like not really? I mean, he is actually a dating coach, and he has courses.
Yeah, you ever watch that episode of Black Mirror where John Hamm was being a dating coach?
Yeah.
Pretty good episode, right? He accidentally dating coaches that guy into getting murdered by that chick. It's fucking crazy. That's what you got to watch out for with me.
So you know about Jack Denmo? So I'm starting to bad from him.
I don't know.
Okay, listen.
Anything about
he may
I
be
don't
a
know
pickup
the
artist.
situation. Maybe in the situation he was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know what this situation is, what the questions are, or what any of this stuff is. But what I've heard is that guy's a creep. And now that you're telling me he's a manosphere guy and he's big in the whole like fucking pickup artist and weird online stuff like that, it just gives me a fucking feeling of caution. I would just say be cautious. And I would take everything that someone like that says with the biggest grain of salt that you can, because it sounds like another case of Andrew Tate, really.
So here's the thing. No, he bashes the manosphere, from what I know. Or he like say like he says like, oh, don't listen to those black pill people or whatever.
Okay. Well, again, I don't know Jack Denmo, and I might be completely wrong. I'm not even like I don't know the scenario. I don't know the situation, but
Yeah.
I have heard that he's a creep, and he's part of the pickup artist kind of online thing, and there's already a level of creepiness that comes with that, and to have this like allegations on top of you because of it, or like along with it, it's just a bad vibe, man. And fucking, I don't know. Again, I'm not ever going to be in a scenario, I don't think, where I'm going to have to be around Jack Denmo or that Jack Denmo. So it's not like something I have to worry about. And I don't think it's something you really have to worry about either. I'm just saying that, I don't know, man. That world breeds weirdos.
I just think like unfortunately, he comes as an example of a guy that like helped me out in terms of cold approaching, right? Where like he unfortunately had it. But here's the thing. What I'm trying to say about Jack Denmo. I think he's one of the only few successful pickup artists though, like that tries to help like offer genuine advice and also like give good examples of how to approach a girl. You know what I mean?
Well, has it worked for you yet?
I mean, I'm not gonna act like so. Listen, I've approached a lot of girls, right? I mean, I'm not gonna act like. I mean, I got numbers, got instas. I mean, has it helped me like getting a date? Not necessarily, but at least it got me to like meet these girls and have these great connections with. So, but I guess I don't know.
Okay, well, like I had said before, next time you get a number or an Instagram or something like that, you let me know immediately, and then I will fucking help you from there. Because fucking, if Jack Denmo pickup lines work, go for it. But when it here's another. This is a weird little rule. This is, and it's not like gospel. It's not always every single time it's gonna be like this. Don't high five a woman. Don't shake a woman's hand. Don't do nothing like that's just a little.
not even like nice to meet you. The fuck.
I mean, if you're trying to pick them up, don't do that. If you're just trying to if you're in a formal setting, or if you're like trying to or if you've got like a job interview or something and it's a woman, it's like, okay, hey, nice to meet you. Like fucking that works. But like if you're trying to pick up on a chick, bro, don't shake their hand and don't fucking don't high five, because that signals BFF energy.
I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. It's just, again, doesn't that go with the whole idea, like, oh, the whole twist thing, right?
The whole
You
be a
just said,
friend first. I mean, maybe. And again, if you've ever high fived a chick and she gave you your number afterward, I mean, maybe so. But uh, I'm just saying, when it comes to that, um, I would just steer clear of it. And I don't know. Any fucking a pickup line that ends in a high five is so fucking wild. But again, if it works, it works. You let me know if it works. Go out
I'll
and
let
try
you
it
know.
and
That's
let me know if it
why, hopefully, I will get those spy camera thing, but I feel like that's creepy. You know what I mean?
again, like, don't. That's why I had walked back on that. Don't do that. But an idea you could do. What kind of a phone do you have?
I'm an Android guy.
You're an Android guy. Get some kind of a So my advice would be, get some kind of an app, like a voice memo app.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it on, lock your phone, put your phone in your pocket, and let it record everything. Let it record the audio, and then I can listen back to it. Because that way you're not going to be a creeper with a camera staring directly at somebody, and you can have your phone in your pocket and you can just record it. Make sure the microphone is up, by the way, when you do that, so I can hear it.
You know, I tried. I think I tried approaching girls while you guys were on Skype with me a bunch of times, but it always failed because
That's
it was
fair.
never. Yeah. So
And another way you could do it. So I have a pair of these Sony Bluetooth earbuds, and they have a microphone on this. So you could feasibly just wear these and look like a guy wearing earbuds, and then you would have a microphone right here recording your entire conversation. Nobody would be any the wiser. And I've done that before. So just,
it's just like I would love to record stuff for YouTube. It would be pretty cool.
well,
Uh,
we can record audio things and have pictures and stuff up as well.
I don't know. I just think it needs to be all. I wanted to basically make
I'm not gonna lie, it would be good content. I just don't know how you would do that, especially if the setting you're going to is like a club or a bar.
Yeah. I don't know, but even like at a park, because I have approached girls at a park. So,
Right.
uh,
Okay.
but yeah. Oh yeah, but again, I don't know why we like the whole vegan I think it's like what going about like approaching women, especially nice girls. Okay, we were talking about whole like the nice girls thing, right? Like I do think I have approached nice girls, but just I don't know. Like, I guess we'll just say maybe they just were into me, right? So what can I do?
Well, if
Uh,
you're approaching girls that you know are stand-up people and they're not responding to you, then you know it ain't on them. You know it's on you, and it's something that you've got to improve on. It was like that thing Righty said last night, or whenever we recorded that. It was a
yeah.
few ago when um, he said that even if you found the most perfect girl for you, that she would still not be able to see past all the crazy shit. So it's about trying to tamper down the craziness. Again, there's a fucking okay. I will send you when we're done with this. I will send you podcasts and things that you need to be listening to, things that will help you, and not stuff that will hold you back. There are good podcasts that I think you will understand, that I think you can get into, that I think will give you good ideas to think about, and positive things for you that I think are good. I think that a lot of this comes down to. Have you ever heard people talk about how your brain is like a computer? Now, I disagree with that a lot. I think that your brain's not exactly like a computer. It's like a fleshy thing that's just like firing off different synapses and doing crazy shit all the time. But when people say that your brain is like a computer, what they're saying is the information that you put in is what's going to come out of it. So, if you start filling your brain with like really good content and really like positive things for you, that will show in your life. Like you need to it there was a period of my life, honestly, that wasn't too long ago when I was filling my head with nothing but politics. and I still am interested in it. But the fact that I was looking at all this shit that was fucked up all the time was having a negative connotation. It was having a negative effect on my life. I was filling my head with people yelling at each other, saying nasty things to each other, these arguments about complex things, and you get these dumb people that just talk about it like I've got the simple solution and all that. And it was really bogging my head down and kind of making me look at life in a negative way. But I know the things that I need to be looking at to make myself feel more positive. Like, shit, if you're going with Instagram, man, there's a really good page that I follow called Poetic Outlaws. And whenever I need a fucking good pick me up or a good, like, mental washing, I just go to Poetic Outlaws and I just look at the shit that they post. And there's another one called, I think it's called Culture Critic. I look at them sometimes. Sometimes they say some shit that I'm like, that's a little wild and I can't get behind that. But for the most part, they do a lot of content about classical philosophy, classic art, and just different things that you can really get into that will help expand your mind. There's I don't know how much if you're into like self-improvement apps at all, like if you've ever seen those apps that have plans on them. There's a philosophy app that you can download, and it actually has a list of things on it. So it's like, do you want to work with communication skills, or like emotionally you want to be more secure? Would you like to have a better job? Like different things like that, and you select it, and then it curates philosophers, ideas, and different things throughout the centuries that can point you in that in that direction. Excuse me. I have a nicotine pouch in my mouth, and some of the nicotine came out of it and went directly down my throat, and I choked on it.
You need a semifredo. I'm
But
thinking about semifredos right now.
it's a food episode. But yeah, man, there are very feasible things that you can do, and I will send you all of this shit when this is done. I will send you a list
No
of things
problem.
you need to fucking consume.
No problem. Man, semifredo sounds pretty fantastic. The texture is very cakey, like actually, but it's smooth. It's more like a soft serve ice cream, but except it's very soft and luscious. It's really more like a mousse like consistency.
Huh.
Yeah,
Sounds
semi.
interesting. I mean, I'd eat it if somebody put it in front of
Look
me.
up,
I'd eat it. I
look
say that
up.
about every food, bro. Hold up. I just fucking. I'm not gonna go get it. I don't need to show it. But I just went to the Asian market and bought a thing of snail ramen that has actual snails in it
Is it
because
is it Alabone? Alabone?
I don't think so. It's called I don't know. It's called like Extreme Energy Ramen, or no, it's called Shinzu Energy, and the fucking it's river snail flavored because I think in China that's a common thing is they just eat river snails and they put it in their noodles and
No,
their
I know what you're talking about. It's isn't doesn't have like small snail like looking pieces.
yeah, it has
That's
actual
That's Alabone,
it has actual snail in it. That's like on the ingredients as it says there's snail in it.
dude. That's Alabone. That's what they
Oh,
call Alabone.
okay,
That's kind of like a snail like meat. It looks like a snail. You're eating it, but it's like what a lot of Japanese people eat.
huh.
Yeah. Uh, I'm sensing like you got the fancy ramen, didn't you? Or the
Yeah,
fan?
it's got like 5 packs in it, and you know, like
It was expensive.
it was about I would say $3 or $4 for the it was a single serving of it, and it was like $3 or $4. It's like
Alabone.
yeah, it's pretty yeah
Yeah,
for
Alabone is
ramen.
I think yeah it's just been featured a bunch of times when I was watching Aisha of Japan, so I know more about it. And I plus like I kind of learned when there's like this guy who gets like ramen or just instant noodles, uh and like so it's like I don't know if that's the type of ramen or noodles you got the instant noodle. I'm pretty sure those are more the authentic type of noodles instead of just a simple instant ramen noodle thing you can get. But it's like more of a fresher consistency. There's more quality, and then they have the olive bone in it.
Okay, well I'm excited to try it. It looks like it'll be pretty good. Anyway, Something funny that I think you'll get a kick out of. I watched the last episode with Forehead Man on our projector in
Mm-hmm.
the front room, and he said that I'm like Gordon Ramsay and that you're like a restaurant owner and your business is going under. And then I show up and I'm like trying to help you like get it fixed. And then you're yelling at me like, but I'm doing everything right. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. You need to fix this.
He really thinks I'm freaking. Oh God, I don't want. I don't. Oh man. Oh. Uh. Oh no. I hope that's not true. I don't. I don't know.
He likes. Here's the thing. We all think you have issues, but nobody dislikes you. Forehead Man, I'm sure likes you.
But I don't know. I still think like, listen. I understand you guys come from the heart, right? But I still think like, there's like reasons that like I believe that are still. I mean, I understand maybe those are like what the short term things, right? Like what the whole idea, like all height and race, right? Those are the short term issues, right?
I would say they're non-issues.
Really.
Just because I've seen plenty of short brown guys with women. I mean, and they might not be the women that you think are like the most attractive ones, but it's like I've seen short brown guys with chicks, and I mean, I don't think that's. And you're not fucking short. You're like five what? 5'9", 5'10"? That's the average height of a man.
5'8".
That's average man height.
But a lot of women like you see on the internet, they always complain about those people.
Well, fucking women on the internet are dumb as a stump, dude.
Mm. Okay, and listen, and I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I want to be honest with you, and obviously don't feel like I'm insulting you, right?
Right.
Just remember back in the day, like recent, like, well, God bless, like you have really improved yourself. Let's just say you really truly looks maxed, right?
Uh-huh.
Definitely years ago, I think like when it comes to like with your issue, remember years ago, you were like very overweight, right?
I was fat and
And
ugly. Those are two things that you're not.
I don't know. It's just like
Yeah,
when we
the
were,
hot women didn't want to date me when I was fat and ugly.
yeah.
But you're not fat and you're not ugly. You don't have to deal with either of those fucking things. Like, get your head out of your fucking ass, dude. Like, fucking, yeah, you're right. When I was a fat slob with no job and I fucking lived with my mom and I was doing nothing, man, like, yeah, women weren't attracted to that, and they shouldn't have been. Every woman back then, if I went up to an attractive woman back then and tried to pick them up, they should have put a gun to my head and said, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" Because I needed to fucking work on myself and improve myself, and here I am going out with chicks because I worked on myself and improved myself, and you can do that too. We can all do that. Everybody can. That's the beautiful thing about this. So fucking all you're doing is proving me right. Like,
Okay. Okay, so this is the response that I was going to mention for a rating thing. I do think though, like you guys will never understand like how it's like as a brown guy in dating. Like I know you said like oh those certain guys, but like again, I would say who, right? Or are they even getting the types of girls that I would be interested in, or will those girls really be known as like chicks that we would be attracted to? Like that's the real question. Um, he says, "Oh, finance bros are nerds. They won't get girls." But like I thought, like he said, "Oh, but women like smart guys."
they
So
do, but here's the thing. There's a
yeah,
difference between being intelligent and being a nerd. I'm intelligent. I know a lot of stuff about a lot of things. You wouldn't look at me and say that guy's a fucking nerd. Being a nerd, being a geek, those are way different contexts from being intelligent. I've known plenty of good-looking, normal, intelligent men. They exist. But when he's talking about men in finance, when you see a man in finance, he's horseshoe bald, has glasses, and he talks like this. That's what a man in finance is. That's
you.
not you.
Yeah, I was gonna mention. Actually, technically, you know what I learned? I'm technically a man in finance,
Yeah, you're part of the
but
trend.
unfortunately, I'm not 6'5", blue eyes, or whatever, or I don't
No,
have a trust fund. So that sucks for me. Um, yeah, I've said I understand these things help only as a person, but won't help get the foot in the door to with hot women. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, I understand these are like supposed to help like people, like these advice like they're supposed to help me as a person, but it won't help me get in the door necessarily. What do you think of that when I said that to myself?
I think that that's incorrect because the idea of getting in the door is retarded. Being brown and being ugly and being short or whatever is not what's keeping you from getting in the door. Like, that's not it. Like, again, I wish that was it because this is something completely different. Like, if that was the case, I could tell you, you know what, Zubair, actually, you are worthless and useless and you're never going to get a girlfriend. But that's not true. I don't fucking lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's not the case. Fucking, when it comes to like fucking the whole brown thing, the whole fucking what, again, man, there are so many white girls that date brown guys, like to the point fucking like it's just like it's like a fucking joke, you know? Like, and you go like I've seen plenty of girls on fucking like on like dating apps that they say I don't want to date a white man. Like, that's a thing. Like, they'll say no white boys allowed.
But
Like,
then they'll date the Tyrones, right?
perhaps, maybe, I don't know. But I know that they say no white guys allowed. And I know that I fit in that camp of white, but it doesn't make me feel insecure. And I don't go, oh man, it's just so hard for a white guy these days. Some girls don't want to date brown guys, but that's not the majority of the girls you're talking to. I can tell you that. From the girls that you've showed me their pictures, I can tell you with my radar that they're not opposed to dating a brown guy because he's brown. It's fucking like, and if anything, man, there's a weird cultural stigma around that. Like, fucking, you ask a guy if he's interested in African American women, and he says no, and then people jump on him like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" That's kind of fucked up. Like, so I mean, if anything, I would argue society looks at it the other way. I would say that people want to do that because that's the more progressive thing to be doing now, is to be in a fucking multiracial relationship. So I don't think that like that's holding you back. If anything, it might give you somewhat of an advantage to be brown because of the fact that people want to be progressive. They want to be fucking doing the things more modern like. If this was 1955, which is so funny that you're always talking about like, oh, in the modern world, it's because I'm brown. If this was 1955 and you walked up to a white woman, you'd be fucking thrown in jail. But the fact is that here you are, and all you're doing is talking to them, and you're fumbling chicks because you just are bad with words. But we can fix that. It's not like again, like you know, the advantage disadvantage. With some women, it will be a disadvantage because they don't want to date brown guys. But with some women, it'll be the absolute advantage because they're against dating white guys. You never fucking know until you
So I
talk.
should date sorry if I interrupt you, but I guess I should date liberal chicks now.
Fucking not necessarily. I'm just saying it's more societally acceptable. When I say progressive, I mean that's the way society is progressing. And that's what people want to do, is to be in on the trend. They want to be forward with their thinking. And even conservative men and conservative women are going multiracial now. I was listening to a podcast the other day about it was about, you know how we always talk about culture wars?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, there was this liberal guy talking, and he said, you know, we talk about fighting the culture war, but in a certain respect, the culture war is kind of dead in some areas where you have guys now where the conservatives back in the day, they wouldn't have anybody who wasn't a white guy on their side. Now we've got Clarence Thomas, we've got Kash Patel, we've got a full multiracial whole entire fucking cabinet because the civil rights people, they won the culture war. When it came to race, they absolutely won that culture war. And so that's something, that's just part of life. And I would say that's a good thing. I think people should be less racist. Controversial opinion. Being racist is bad. So fucking, I think that again, the brown guys won. You can run with your flag and say I won. We beat you, and you can fucking date all the women now.
Well, let's hope so. I don't know. It's just like because a lot, like it's hard to think that when like again, I understand like I shouldn't probably care about it, right. You see a lot of girls like on on a videos like which race you wouldn't date is a brown guy, and also, and I'll tell you why. I also like I think I got a statistic where like why brown men will struggle according to LK Cupid. brown guys get less responses than a lot of other men. And another thing to combat this also why it's like a problem is because it has been debated that brown men have low sexual market value. What do you think about that?
I think that trying to equate somebody's sexual market value is absurd. The idea of saying this guy has more sexual worth than another man's sexual worth. Look at this shit, man. You see that? You see that? Fucking gross. Fucking disgusting. There are women who are attracted to me and think that I'm sexually appealing. That still exists.
That
So it's weird. People's sexual market value, throw that out the window because you can't quantify that. That's like trying to quantify feelings. Like, you know, yesterday I loved you 100%. Today I'm feeling about 85. That doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Like my sexual market value, there's no market value. You're not a fucking product. You're a fucking person, man. Sexual market value. Your sexual market value is however fucking sexy you can make yourself, and that shouldn't be hard for you. You just gotta dress good and you gotta act fucking better, and that's fucking easy, man.
all
Fucking
right. I'm
yeah.
putting more faith to you. I'm gonna put more faith to hopefully that'll be the truth.
Well, you
Okay.
should. I've got a good face. I've got nice hair, and and I've been on dates with women, and I've fucking
Mhm.
been naked in front of one woman. Felt really weird and uncomfortable. I'll say that much. You know, shouldn't be doing that stuff all the time. But,
Yeah.
you know,
All right. I wanted to say like like when Righty said like, oh, you're not ready for a girlfriend or whatever, but like the thing is, you're never ready for love. You know what I mean? You're never ready for love. I don't think that that's a thing like you need to be necessarily ready for. Like you're never ready for like if a person would get like together. Like if you really think about it, a lot of people who have gotten together with somebody, they're not necessarily looking for to like be ready. Like they were just like they just got with the person because they connected with them.
yeah, and he's not even saying that you need to put like a day on it. Like like by April 15th I will be ready to go out on a date. But when you have issues that are hard to overlook, you need to work on those first before you can expect someone to come for. It's just like shit, you want to talk about statistics and probability and all of that. You're statistically less likely to get with somebody if you don't work on yourself than if you do. There might be some chick out there who looks at you right now and thinks, wow, that's the guy I want to be with for the rest of my life. Regardless, you'll have a better chance of getting with them if you work on yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Um, I said this to myself. I don't know why. I guess I might as well say I don't know. Just like loose cannon shit. Um, yeah, it's not fair. There's people who don't need to struggle, but because men are struggling. I think in general, men are struggling though. Regardless, and it's not just about dating. It's just be about like the whole idea of being a man. Oh, that's. I mean, it shouldn't be like you shouldn't be ashamed of being a man. It's just I just think men are struggling regardless of a lot of shit in life, even like the ones that are even in relationships, right? Like they're like just the whole idea of people hate men and shit. So I literally look down
Um,
upon
Culturally, I can see what you're saying for
them.
sure. However, I would argue that we're kind of swinging back into the direction of sanity. I think when it comes to things like that, I think that we're starting to see that maybe hating white men and hating straight people, that might have been an overcorrection.
Mhm.
Maybe we can just chill the fuck out now. I think
Yeah.
we're getting to a point where we can just chill the fuck out. When you've got Mark Zuckerberg bending the knee and saying, okay, I'm gonna stop being crazy with the content mods. It's starting to swing back in the other direction of being like, let's calm down now. I think that's my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mark Zuckerberg taking off the fucking fact check means that we're about to be in Nazi Germany. Who knows? But I really do think that I think that culturally, when it comes to things like that, I think the insanity is starting to die, and I honestly couldn't be happier about fucking anything. I will dance on the grave of this fucking bullshit that's been going on for the past few years of making us divided and making us crazy against each other. that shit has got to stop, and I'm happy that it is,
Yeah.
man. Fucking, when you've got Cenk Uygur talking to Charlie Kirk, things are going fucking differently, man. Things are going different.
Charlie Kirk is a intelligent dude.
I like some things. I would say I like Charlie Kirk 60% of the time, and then
I
forty
think
percent.
he's a good guy, but he's also like he's a good dick. How about that?
It's not even being a dick. It's just like sometimes he says some stuff like the war on drugs was great. And it's like you're stupid.
No, no, no,
But
no. He's a good dick in terms of like he's saying you like to be a dick, and it's funny. Like he's a very good dick.
I prefer when it comes to like conservative like debate or arguing or whatever. I'm more into like the crazier ones that like try to be funny with it. It's like Alex Stein. Do you know him?
Alex Stein. I know the name, but I'm not gonna act like I know more of him.
He's
I know
essentially
more
like a
about.
comedian that just kind of goofs on politics, usually from a conservative perspective. Actually, I would argue more so like a libertarian view. He's kind of more of like a libertarian guy, and he does a lot of like he'll pretend that he's Charlie Kirk and he'll go on college campuses to get people to yell at him and like argue with it. He's just like he's just a goofball. And so like I like goofballs when it comes to that kind of stuff, when it comes to debate and I like being entertained. I mean, who doesn't like a little entertainment, you know?
Hmm. I thought when you mentioned like Alex Stein, maybe another guy I was thinking of, but Alex Stein, I've heard the name, but I will not act like I sadly know him. Okay, another thing I was gonna respond. Talking, I always make sure to sound normal. Don't use huge vocabulary, and at least if I'm not texting the girl. Not gonna lie, texting I usually don't care when typing because I'm not a texter. That's why people may think I'm bad with my words because of texting in the group chat, because life is short and I just want to get the words out. Um, Righty said before date a frump, so he kind of contradicted himself when he said that, oh, just don't date anyone, but he basically said date a frump, whatever. Um,
Well, was Data Frump something that he had said like years ago?
yeah.
I assume he probably doesn't stand by that now, since in the last clip, in the last video, he said, don't date someone you're not attracted to, but at least have the humility to understand that
Mm-hmm.
people might see the same things in you are negative that you think are negative in others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. He said women. You said women are dumb, but I'm dumb. Shouldn't I be with them? I was like, yeah, like yeah, God, these are right. Like if they're not dumb and I'm supposedly dumb, shouldn't I be with those dumb girls?
Um, well, I would say if you're gonna be with someone who's better than you. Be with somebody who can teach you and can push you forward. Uh, please don't date somebody who's completely brain dead. And if you do, and that's fine. Like if you want to, and hey man, I'm not opposed to dating somebody who's stupid, but at least make sure they treat you well. That's it.
um, the reason why these cold approaches failed because no friends were the support. Sometimes when I cold approach is by myself, no support, a lot of friends. Friends don't hook me up. And the reason why I said this to myself is because unfortunately I've had bad friends, or a lot of friends don't really support me as much in terms like, okay, so I have friends that get the girls. They sadly, they only hook up their cooler friends. I'm not sadly the cooler type of guy in my friends list or whatever. And yeah, let's just say like again, it all ties. Like for example, one comes to mind. One friend I had, he worked at Hooters, and obviously Hooters met a lot of fucking chicks from Hooters, right? He be hooking up my like my he this specific friend is friend like type with my cousin. And you guys know about my family life, right? Where I'm like the black sheep in my family. Oh
Yeah,
shit! Oh shit! Hello, you see me?
yeah,
Hello?
yeah. I can see you.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I exited out for. He'll hook them up, right? with like Hooters or whatever. That's an example like how I won't get the favor back. Where like oh, hey, if they can get to how about hook me up, brother? Like it's like
So
that type
you'll
of shit.
ask your
Where like,
friends
and
for help
also
getting.
I sadly
You'll
don't
ask
have a
your
lot of
friends for
times my
help getting women, and they say no.
they said they'll help me out, but they don't fulfill that
Sounds
promise.
like shitty friends, dude.
So
Like,
that's
I mean,
really
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
and
lie, bro. Like, that just sounds like a shitty friend. Like, fucking. If you've got a friend that's. Here's the thing. If you've got a friend that's a success at something, they need to at least be able to teach you the basics of that thing. If they're like a real friend of you, if you're struggling and they have the fucking wherewithal to help you and they don't, that's a shit friend, dude. Like genuinely, fucking. That's all I
yeah,
would say about that. Like, that just sounds like a shit friend, and especially and
that's
honestly, bro,
my
here's a little secret. I'm sure
the types of guys that get sadly don't hook up.
the fucking the guy who works at Hooters with all these women isn't hooking up with them. Let me tell you, because that is an HR issue. If you start fucking all those women, one of them's probably going to say something about it, and he's probably going to get fired. So I think either A, he's lying, or B, he's fucking stupid.
No, but like it's not just that, but like obviously those are the guys that get the girls, but like they don't like help me out or whatever.
Again,
Like, or they
if
say it's
they're
just
not
like
helping you, they're shit friends, and you got to fucking ask them.
yeah.
You got to say, "Hey, man, do you think that like we could maybe like go out to an event or something together, and you could like help me out and like show me what to do, or like help me do these things to get with these women because I'm struggling, like I need help." And
They,
fucking
they said they said like I asked this my cousins that get the girls right. Like that's the thing. Okay, I'm the black sheep in the family.
uh-huh.
My family, they're like brown chads, right? They're the ones that can get the girls. I asked for help. They said, "Bro, don't worry about that, man. It's all a pussy in the end of the day." And I asked them like, "Hey, how about actually like let's actually try to like my cousin's like, yo, don't worry, bro. I got you with the white chicks and whatever because he knows how much I'm a fucking like like, man." But again, in the end of the day, they don't hook me up, man. They don't help me out.
That just sounds like fucking really shitty, and they should be nicer to you and help you out. That's my opinion on that one. I really do think that fucking again, if you have an ability to help somebody, it's kind of your duty to do that as a person. So if you don't do that, shame. That's shameful. You should help people.
I don't know, but yeah. So my family said he didn't help me, and yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, like I unfortunately that's been the case. Like I've had friends that didn't want to help me, and family members, so especially sadly. Um, when you mentioned the church girls in the last video, right? Um,
Yes.
I've noticed that. So there's one chick I approach. I have her on this, but I don't think she follows me back. Whatever. But the reason why I'm mentioning this specifically is that when you're talking about how like the place to meet girls, right? So I don't think like let's go back to this whole idea like meeting girls. I understand it's not the best place to meet girls at a bar, or nightclub, or whatever. Well, I would say more so the nightclub. That's why I've stopped spending money on nightclubs and whatever, or going to nightclubs, especially knowing that it's pretty much just a scammy end of the day. Because it's just there's no way you're gonna meet girls. So that's why I'm more so like going to like maybe like a dive bar. I think you mentioned that, so you helped me with that. Thank you, Emery. So I took that into account. Um, but or just a bar like where you could probably talk, be more social with people, where it's not loud music or like dancing, whatever. But what I'm trying to say in terms of again, think about like the 50s, like how people met people, right? They went to like a dance club or whatever. So it's like that's like in a way that's what I'm doing. But what I'm trying to say when I'll go meet a church girl. Church girls, I'm gonna here to say this: church girls go to the bars too,
They
right?
do. But here's the thing: is it's gonna be harder for you to find one because every kind of girl goes to the bar.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't just like the reason why I'm mentioning this because
You
when
can't
people
write
think
off
church,
every woman that goes to a bar. I agree with you. But
yeah,
the idea is that the women that are at the bar are way, way, way more likely to not be the kind of woman that you're looking for than if you were to go to a religious institution or somewhere that you were going to meet up with women. It's just again with the whole statistics thing. statistically, you're more likely to meet your traditional dream girl at a religious institution than you are at a bar, because at a bar, they're 80% more likely to not be that.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I understand maybe like in terms of like the social idea, maybe, but like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just like a girl may seem like they're again. It's a whole idea of the whole fake nice girl thing. Like the girl will act like certain. She's all holy and nice in the church, but then she's being freaky at the bar. You know what I mean? Um, One example. I'm about to tell you this. This happened this past summer. I discovered she goes to church. This chick, she literally wanted to take off my fucking khaki pants. Well, not khaki pants, my pants because I was wearing camel pants.
What? Is this
And
like
she
a
goes,
sexual thing, or is she just against camo?
no, it was a sexual thing. She was like, I love your pants. I want to rip it off.
Damn.
And again, I found out on her Instagram she goes to fucking church.
Nice.
So she's like a church girl. But it's like, bro,
Have
she's
you
at a
spoke? Have
fucking
you spoken
bar.
to her since?
Nah.
What?
No, because I mean, don't act like they didn't try. But again, like that's the types of girls like don't fucking like I get their Instagrams and shit, and they'll fucking say like, oh, I
It's
want to take.
that's your problem right there. Is you got their Instagram and they looked at your Instagram.
I don't think it's because of
Yep,
just
it
Instagram.
is. It is. Don't try to justify your Instagram to me, young man. You
Um,
think you're the brown Hulk Hogan.
this was before posing as Hulk Hogan, though. But
Okay, but you always do the goofy fucking like, hey guys, it's me. I'm Zubair, and it's Thanksgiving. And I just wanted to say, hey guys, I'm really thankful for my friends, my family, my country. It's like you coming off like an imitation of a vlogger.
she didn't follow me.
Damn. That's
Like I
probably
had
why.
like I gave her like I had to like what give her my phone. It was one of those type of thing. Oh, my phone was. I don't know if that was her because I actually also remember met her other friend, and her other friend was hot as fuck. Her name, I think her name was like Reese. She was like a softball player or something, or I don't know. She was an athlete, and we were bonding with that. But she literally was coming to me. It's like I want to rip your pants off because I was wearing camo shorts, and I think it was and that was the same night as I think it was the same. Was it the same night? I'm not sure. I don't know. Regardless, man, bro, I be talking to chicks, bro. I be talking to chicks, and don't act like don't got game. It just, Oh, but those two girls, I was with my boy Chi. I saw them. I think the week after at Central Park because I was going the day game, and then she got like angry at me like for recognizing her. I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
I guess because like I will say maybe because like oh I'm not interested. Don't talk to me. Like I don't know, but like she was okay talking to me and my boy. But I think it's really because again they were more interested in my boy because he was more attractive and yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but whatever. But you can't say that, man. You're gonna these church girls are nice and all because
Not
they
all of them.
kind of
I mean, yeah, you're gonna find, like I said, you're more likely to find traditional ones at church. And also, hey, dumbass, you met this girl at the bar, like I've been fucking telling you. You met this girl at a bar, and even if she goes to fucking church, she was another one of the fucking chicks that you met at the bar. How the fuck does this not get through your goddamn head? Like fucking, you're like, oh man, you told me to go to church and find a nice girl. Well, I met a girl at the bar who goes to church. Wow, Zubair. Only like I've been telling you not to go to fucking chicks at the bar like a million fucking times. Like fucking man, I want to fucking email you AIDS. I want to give you AIDS
strangle
through
me.
email right now.
You're gonna strangle me. I don't know. Okay. That's my retort. Stupid retort from Righty. But again, it was great that Righty joined. You want to go back talking about food? What food would appeal to chicks?
What food appeals to chicks? Really, any food that doesn't taste like shit. That's the main thing. As long as you're cooking for a woman, they usually like that you put in the effort. I made fucking God, what's the fucking shit? It's like some kind of a like is like a salad pasta primavera. It was the most simple fucking thing I've ever made in my life, and I made that for a chick, and she loved it. It was just chopped up vegetables with fucking normal ass pasta, man, and that's all it was, and it was good. It was good. So
Yeah, definitely pastas are key to like when you're thinking like pastas like aside from pizzas like oh boy. I actually know the real food they like is fucking sausage, but
they like
that's
a
me or
lot of
fucking.
food.
So I'm talking about sausage.
Yeah,
Like,
they
yeah.
like cock. The problem with women is that they're a lot like cats. They get scared of you and then they hide on top of the refrigerator.
Hmm,
I stole that from Workaholics. Go watch that show.
okay. Um. But yeah. It was great talking about semi-Fredo. I'm craving that right now. Um. I don't know. Look up Marco Pierre White impressed with semi-Fredo. You'll learn what semi-Fredo is.
I'll look it up. Sure. Why not?
Marco Pierre White was the he was the mentor of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, you've told me about him a few times.
Yeah, um, one of the famous chefs in the world. Um, yeah, I know a lot of things. Um, what is your favorite food in the world? By the way, what's your
Fried
favorite
rice.
food?
Fried rice with shrimp, chicken, really any meat. I just like Chinese fried rice, Asian fried rice, very good stuff.
You should try some Guyanese fried rice.
I'll try it out.
I mean, when you come in New York, I can help make it for you. Or my mother's better doing it, but we can definitely do it for you. I
Down to
think
hang out with Mama Zubair and eat some fried rice. Sounds like a good time.
you like jerk chicken, didn't you? You say you want to try jerk
I
chicken.
love jerk chicken. I love all kinds of good food, man. I love all kinds of food. I just don't like. I don't like Indian food where you take the bread and you dip it in the sauce. I really don't like that. I think it's too mushy. It is not for me.
Yeah. My favorite dish. I mean, I love pastas, but like my favorite dish, legit, is Guyanese chicken stew. Yeah, I mean, it's just my culture side coming out, but I love it. It's very homey, comforting. Um, I love, but again, I like jerk. I love jerk chicken. I love fried chicken. I love mashed potatoes. I love anything potato. Potatoes so luscious and dreamy. So luscious and creamy. Just think about them make me so dreamy. Um,
The
I
fuck
love
was that? What'd you take that from?
it's a poem that one of our boys made for me for my love for potatoes.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe he should
Well,
come.
okay, we're nearing the end of the show, and I gotta say, stay tuned, everybody, because we've got a couple of phenomenal guest experiences coming up in the future, in the very
Yeah,
near future. I know a lot of wrestling fans watch this, a lot of people who are into the whole wrestling thing, and you remember all the wrestling people, wrestling community people. Well, let me tell you, there's a guy, his name is Gerard, and he's a general, and he's going to be joining us very soon, and it's going to be a really good time. I haven't talked to General Jerry in years now. I mean, I've texted him, I've messaged him, and we've commented on each other's stuff, and he love reacts my photos, and I love react his photos because we're both handsome. But we haven't spoken on the phone in like 3 or 4 years, so this will be really interesting to catch up and to see him again. I really like General Jerry. It was really funny when I first heard of General Jerry. I had this thought in my head. I was like, I'm going to fucking hate this guy. This guy's gonna suck. His name's General Jerry, and he's a wrestling reviewer. It fucking the idea. I just thought like this is gonna be fucking awful. But then I met him. I met him with the idea I'm not going to like you, and within 5 minutes, I was like, I fucking love this guy. He's like the nicest guy on earth. General Jerry is such a fucking sweet guy. If General Jerry hates you, you've probably done something wrong because General Jerry is a fucking sweetheart. And we're gonna have his exact opposite on as well. One of the meanest people in the world, one of the meanest people I have ever met, Jewy, my good friend, will be joining us for the Modern Romance podcast. And I am prefacing it. Jewy is very mean. He's a very mean person, and he's going to come on here and say some not very nice things. and I'm probably going to argue with him a little bit, but I love Jewy. He's a good friend. So wrestling people that you guys have probably seen before, they're going to be coming on here. You know, people you haven't seen before are probably going to be coming on here, and I think that it's going to be a really good time. Big General Jerry fan, and that's about all I have to say on that. Do you have anything to say about General Jerry?
I just love the guy. He wanted to come on and he wanted to add expertise of things after watching the video with Righty coming. So I also thought that was a great idea. Like, hey, we need, we like Jerry, and I think Jerry would have a fun.
And Jerry's married now, so that'll help.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. I don't know. I don't think we were supposed to mention that, but okay. Regardless, we also will do and we'll do I don't know if it'll be whenever we do, but I want to do this in the next 2 weeks. We'll do a Modern Robots episode about COVID-19 5 years later and our time from it, even like our day lives during it, whatever. And we'll talk about how it maybe affected the world we live in and dating. So look out for that. Regardless, we're just gonna wing it. I think tonight we had like a different topic to talk about, but we'll save that another time. We were gonna talk about dating coaches. Even though we kind of did a little bit, but we didn't went into depth with it. I think we talked about something that were more out of the blue that we didn't need to plan it. It just worked out beautifully. We talked about nice girls, nice guys.
But most importantly, we talked about food.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, Muhammad Ramsey is gonna be the topic. All right. We love you. We love the show. God bless y'all. Till next time. Peace. Yeah. Bye. Food is love. Food is life.